Introducing. Hello, and we are live. Yes, you're not seeing things, guys. You are seeing me again. I think I have so much to say that I can't stop myself. So here I am again today on June 24th, the day before the big portal of the 2525 energy. We'll get into that at some point. For those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Reverend Joanne Angel Barry Cologne. I am the founder of Holistic Fitness and Why. I serve, help, and transform women in midlife, helping them to release emotional weight without dieting so I can stand on the sideline and witness them step into their confidence, to walk away from their JOB and step into their soul's calling. I'm your certified holistic personal trainer, Reiki master, medical astrologer, master of numerology, card creator, card reader, and also the founder of Holistic Healing Magazine, which I have on the side here, but due to my background, you won't be able to see it. Anyway, that's all about who I am. I'm going to turn the mic over to Miss Kitty so she can introduce herself as well.
Oh, I know it's in the other building, your magazine. Otherwise, I could hold it up. So I am Kitty Butoeg Foss, storytelling astrologist, reader of the stars, holder of the quiet these days. I am co-founder of Intuition of the Soul, a free private face group to explore everything spiritual, and on YouTube and Facebook, Storytelling Astrologists, and TikTok, where I post a daily reading, sometimes 2 days in one. And that's actually kind of why we're here. I called Joanne and said, oh my God, between the fact that we have the Gazimi of it that's happening today, at the same time we're dealing with the highly unusual 43-hour long void of course, is a pretty specific astrological energy that is coming through for us today. So I said, let's talk. We like to play. And today is a day where we're really tuning into all of those internal. It's not a day to start things. It's not a day to do new things. It really is a day to clean out, to take a look at purposefully with this Gazimi with Cancer and Jupiter in Cancer, and expand the understanding of who we are and really step into owning it. So that's why we're here today.
Exactly. And for that matter, it's also really based on all this energy that we do have with the Cassini and Jupiter and Cancer, and of course the portal energy we have tomorrow, which is that 25-25 energy. This is actually a day to honor your body with rest. So if you feel like you were tired or are tired, now of course it's just about 8:35 p.m. Eastern time. So if anyone's tired now, they're probably gonna get ready for bed. I
Plus
just can't say that again.
Plus the heat gave us a great gift to have us be introspective, because it pretty much the entire eastern part of the country, Midwest, was under this horrific heat.
Yes. Yeah. So and sadly to say is that we do need reasons to slow down, as opposed to really honoring our body to slow down. And that is everything I've spoken about this afternoon when I went live in reference to the energy of Jupiter being in Cancer. It really is about honoring our bodies, bringing our bodies back home into homeostasis, and whatever that means for everybody on an individual level as we move through this expansion that we're going to go through for the next 12 months. This portal that we have coming in tomorrow, 25-25, if we look at those numbers, the number 2 represents the relationships and partnerships we have with ourselves, with others, and our physical body. It's also very much associated with the Venus energy, and currently Venus is in Taurus, which is its home place, which is a big reminder it's important to honor our physical bodies so we can move through this spiritual evolution, this elevation that we're about to go through, and get to the other end of it in 12 months from now. And then that 7 energy is about bringing balance and respecting that's the word I just heard, respecting the agreement that you do have with your physical body, because we all have agreements. And our body is part of the agreement, whatever that agreement is. Maybe it's the agreement from this point on for the next 12 months to honor, nourish our body with healthy food, nourishing our body by feeding our inner child, because it's not just about us as adults, it's about the inner child that we carry within, who might have been, in the word, these are words I'm hearing, might have been deprived as a child, wasn't allowed to have certain things. And this is a perfect example of wanting to step into feeling valued and worthy, and feeling enough, like you're allowed to have. So we take these two energies, 2 and 7, and we 2 and 5, and we bring it in together. Which, funny enough, I actually went into the 7 energy, skipped right over the 5 energy, which is quite interesting, because the 5 is about the change. What changes do we need to undergo in order to honor the agreement with our physical body? What have we been doing up until now that may not be perfectly aligned with our soul's being? And being in that space of saying, what do I need to change so I can fully step into who I am from the spiritual side of things, not from the human side of things, because all of us are working to bringing ourselves back home, in reference to tapping into who we are spiritually speaking. I say it all the time. We are spiritual beings having multitudes of human experiences, and those experiences are just lessons. It's not a life sentence. Anything we're going through is not that it's going to be permanent. It's just a spot that we're in at that time. And we can at any time shift gears to change it. We don't have to wait for a portal. We don't have to wait for a new month. We definitely don't have to wait for a new year. We can make a decision right now, right here, and say, you know what? This is the day. We can say at 8:34 p.m., 8:39 p.m. Eastern Time, this is the time I'm going to make the change. We don't have to wait. We can do it right here and right now.
Well,
so it's a powerful time.
It is a powerful time, because one of the reasons why I called Joanne is because of this 43 hour. It's no accident that we're coming into this portal, that we're also dealing the day before with this Gazimi in Cancer, getting ready to move to a Cancer moon. We don't even have a Cancer moon right now, folks, as we're speaking. And in this, it is really, when you have this level of a prolonged void of course, it's really purposely, ventures are not doing things that is not super fruit doing things right now is really about this introspection tasks and completing existing tasks. So as we cross over into that 7 vibration you're talking about, the 2525, the manifestation portal, we really have had this gift of expanding this nourishment, this nurturing, this deep dive into who we are, that introspection. And it isn't about it's so funny, because this introspection isn't about getting a clear direction. I'm supposed to do this, and I step forward. It's sitting with it. It's accepting, allowing things to shift, and to focus on completion of cycles. And tomorrow we turn around to give gratitude, forgiveness, in that, as we look at what do we want to manifest, what is important for us, as we've had this amazing time of introspection. I mean, it's no accident that it's 11:44 tonight, that not only do we have that Gazimi with Jupiter, but now we have the moon entering to be with, and enter that Gazimi by the time we cross past midnight tonight. So so you've spent this time with this introspection of who you are and nurtured it. And now you're taking a really deep dive into that. So what a powerful evening this is.
Exactly. And when you think about it, that 43 hour of void of course, I mean, those numbers in itself, 4, when we think about the number 4, is perfectly aligned with where the moon is moving into, which is Cancer. And that 3 is, what are we experiencing? Are we experiencing? Are we paying attention? Like today, we titled today's conversation, Listen, in the silence. Are you paying attention? Are you literally paying attention? Like I've seen on TikTok, which being a joke that it was, that people could not see with their eyes closed. So of course the person would tell them, well then open your eyes. And the big concept here is, can you see with your eyes closed? Because I know I can. When my eyes are closed, I see a lot of information. The same way where we sit quietly, we can listen to the silence, and that silence brings in information. And that's what this void of course for 43 hours was giving us the gift to quiet ourselves down. So it wasn't about the Gemini moon or the Cancer moon, it's about your own moon coming into play and giving you this opportunity to feel in to all of this expansion that's occurring with Jupiter in Cancer. And by the way, we're only in Jupiter Cancer just a few days. That just happened on June 9th.
Which is why the moon will join the Gazimi, because
Exactly.
as the moon enters into Cancer, it's about the degrees. So yeah,
exactly. It's so new where many may not even be feeling this expansion just yet, and many of us are, depending on how sensitive we are to the energy shifting. The same way as we move into the energy of the 25-25 portal, this massive opportunity of change, because when we think of the 25-25, it's that double 7 energy.
And with a 43-hour, another 7.
Exactly. So it's a big reminder of, and when we think about the number 7, that just popped into my head and totally threw me off course of what I was going to say. Like, we have 7 days in a week. So when we really think about that 7 energy, it really is about how do we recognize and respect the agreements that we do have with ourselves, with our physical body, with our spiritual body as well, and bringing it all together so we can be more balanced in what we're here to do and not be so confused or distracted by the outside world, and using this time, this 12-month period, to expand into the good fortune, compassion, the joy, the luck, the evolution that we're moving into. Now, I also find it really funny when all astrologers, including Kitty and I, talk about, and not so much me, because I always talk about it based on the body, but talk about the Jupiter moving into Cancer energy and this beautiful, joyful energy. It's a spiritual evolution. We are going to evolve. Now, I don't know about you guys, I don't know about Kitty, but I know when I hear the word evolve, that means there's going to be some stuff going on over the next 12 months that's going to sort of restrict us a little bit and restructure us to take us to that evolution of growth that we're moving into. So as much as about joy and excitement, there's some growth that's going to come through, and maybe some growing pains that may show up.
Well, and because we have a new cycle with spirit, so it is that embodiment, and a new cycle with structure. So when something is new, I don't know if I would, pain is a harder word for me. A change, a shift, a growth. And then, what's really interesting is, Jupiter spent, until recently, all this time in Gemini, getting us to experience and to look at and communicate about those experiences. Now we're taking it to nurture what we decided we wanted from our experience. And we're doing that with a planet that just entered not too long ago, a very slow moving planet, Pluto, and fully into what the vision of that is. We have a new structure being developed, a new cycle with structure, and a new cycle with the structure of spirit. This is about a full embodiment of who we are and what we are. And to have this lovely little grace period that we're sitting in with that wonderful, lucky 7s, that we're aligning to become aware of this. And,
Exactly.
And then this is a new moon in Cancer. Cancer, the moon rules Cancer. So any moon that's in Cancer is always strong. So this is a hugely manifesting new moon coming forth to manifest what it is that nurtures us after having had this extra time for the introspection to look at what did I experience, that I expanded, and that I wanted to go of, both of them. So it's quite a week of, as we make this transition, getting ready for a big transition, the beginning of July, the last of the big five, coming through in how are you going to experience any chaos, any awakening that comes forth. And that is hugely related to this little period of time.
In addition to, we have helping us tap into our physical body, we have Mars in Virgo, which is a big player in reference to the action that we're going to take and be more organized, more focus on the smaller pieces of what it is we need to do so we can become more attuned to who we are within, and being more aligned with how to organize our time and our space so we can spend more time doing the things that bring us joy, bring us compassion, and bring us in this space. It's like Katie and I were chatting before we came live, and she was saying to me how proud she was of me, where I'm truly manifesting the life I want to manifest in reference to all the things I'm doing to be seen, to have the visibility, to get myself out there. And that's having all the small pieces and organizing things, including my nap time, organizing sleep into my day so I can nourish my body to do the things I'm looking to do, and honor my body when those moments of time, as I like to call it, when I get a spiritual flu, spiritual calibration, whereas I've been quiet for most of May, early on into June, and now here it is today. This is my third live today because I have so much to say and want to share. So,
well, and let's also look at the fact that with Mars in Virgo, we are aligning our will with the South Node. The South Node that wants us to move away in Virgo from the patterns that no longer serve us and really look at the pieces that we need to move towards that flow with the pieces, as the North Node is in Pisces. And so that will, that body piece is also about letting go of those pieces, and this is why we have all this time with introspection. Some people's work is going to be about their bodies. It's always about your body because that's your vessel. Some people's work with their bodies is going to be what they're not doing. Some's going to be what they need to do. Some people's the quietness of figuring that out or taking the time. And, again, here we have this huge heat wave that is driving us inside and into quiet and doing a lot of contemplative things, because it's not a time to go out and dig in the garden and do all those things. It automatically sent us into that. And so it is an alignment like no other at this point that we are aligning, getting ready for this technological advancement as Uranus moves into Gemini on July 7th. So,
yes.
So it's coming right up. It's been very busy, energetic shift of larger energies.
Yes, yeah, and we also have the closer planets. Like as of the 26th, we have Mercury moving into Gemini, and then on July 4th, we have Venus moving into, I think, Gemini as well.
Yes.
So again, we're gonna. What I'm hearing is like Venus, Mercury, and Uranus are going to be playing together to help us again come into that space of how do we experience, perhaps maybe the chaos, or maybe the rebel, or maybe the person that invents something so totally out of the box. And this energy is Jupiter in Cancer is a 12-month cycle. So this is not about a quick fix. This is not about, I'm going to do this for 12 weeks and everything's going to be done. This is 12 months. And as I've said in my lives earlier today, think back to 2013 and 2014, because that is the cycle of time that is actually the mirror of this energy right now, with one exception, and that one little piece is Pluto back then was in Capricorn, where Pluto is in Aquarius right now. So the bigger piece now is the vision, the bigger vision that you can hold for yourself in this energy over the next 12 months of what
rather
is your
than
vision for you.
yeah, rather than the expansion of the structure, the overall piece. And yet our structure is in a brand new cycle. And Uranus is also the ruler of that Aquarius energy. So as she moves into that energy, she's going to be stirring up the transformational energy, because she's actually a ruler of it, and though Pluto is in this. So there's a lot of the times they are a changing. And I got a real clear message, physical message last week about when you run from your fears, you run into creating them. And that if fear and faith are both the unseen, where are you spending your time?
Yes. It's like Kitty and I have been saying for quite some time now, in reference, especially for this particular year where we've had so many of our planets shifting and starting a whole new cycle, that what we keep saying is we do not really believe that people understand the magnitude of what this energy is and how different every one of us are going to be with all of these further planets that are further out, transitioning out of one sign into another. How different we are all going to be. We are not going to be the same version of ourselves that we've been for the last, give and take, 20 years. There is a serious shift happening, and it's really, really important for all of us to pay attention to where is all of this taking place on our charts, and how is our chart mirroring what's going on in our outside worlds right now, personally and also collectively. And there's massive shifts happening. And again, so many of us focus on, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. It's like everything's exactly how it needs to be, taking us to where we have to go. We may not like it, but it's exactly how it needs to be to get us to where we have to go.
It is fire and air. We have
Yes.
one water, one shifted, and that's a placement of peace and expansion. That's the Jupiter Gazimi that is aligning us right now with this introspection. So water and air causes a spark, causes an eruption. And so it's really, we're about to hit that fifth one. And then how does that play out with a north node in Pisces and a south node in Virgo? How do we take these old patterns, these old ways of doing things, continue with the ones that are basically human, let go of the other ones, and go with a flow with our soul's work? So, Joanne and I sit here with that access ourselves, Pluto and Virgo. Ours is switched, so we're the continuum. And so it's an important time in our evolution for man. And where you show up and where you put your energy is what you're creating.
Exactly. It's this concept of, and I think Kitty posted this earlier today, I think it came from you, where what you speak of, you create. What you think of, you create. Where you put yourself, you create. So you are the grand creator of your life. So if there's something that's going on in your life and you're not liking it, guess what? Think something else and create that instead, because you are the creator to your experience. You really have to be very mindful of what it is you do think, because just because you're thinking it and didn't say it out loud doesn't mean you're not creating it. Your thoughts get created as well. And it's really important to be more mindful of what conversations you want to have. What do you want to say? Is what you're going to say going to enhance the situation, or is what you're going to say just a bunch of talk? Because you want to pay attention to the conversations you're putting out there. Are you talking to us about the weather? You want to talk about the weather, the heat wave. Talk about the heat wave in reference to how it's helping you, because the weather can tell us so much about the different things that's happening for us when whatever the weather is at that point of time. Now, there was a question I had for Kitty And when I went to grab my pen because I was going to take the notes based on what she was going to say, the question went out of my head, and that's because I moved. And I should have stayed still until I asked the question. I'm hoping it's going to come back into my head again.
I used to teach my students to do this. Look at their finger, say the question, and then hold their finger. Gave them a physical prompt. It actually works because you go, and then I know I'm holding my finger, so I keep it. Yeah, it's very important because what your thoughts are is, again, you won't just think anything because I'm creating them. That is, here's that Virgo South Node, Virgo Mars energy we're talking about. What pattern I put my thoughts in. Thoughts, we store our information. This is physiological. This is nothing to do. This is not astrological. We know the brain has to store things in patterns because it's bombarded by stimuli. So when you start paying attention to the patterns you put your thoughts in, pay attention to undoing the ones that aren't really what is the world you want. And then it will help lead you to, once you understand that, I want to put myself around people and with people who bring that out, who physically help my body be its best, my mind be its best, my spirit. Know your worth here.
Yes.
Of who you're around. And, I actually had a conversation just last night with my brother finally. And where I really just had to say what I didn't like doing. And I just owned it. It really didn't matter to him, but I've been the one that's been shifting it. And it was so releasing because every time I do something like that with my thoughts and own it, I put myself in more comprehensive places that support me by owning, I don't want to be there. That's not a place I want to be. So
exactly. And even though this wasn't what I was going to ask Kitty, but it was a statement that came into my mind before the question. So I'm hoping that when I say this, it will bring the question back. Just as we have Jupiter in Cancer, just like 2013, we want to remember that we are in a 9 energy year. Now, a 9 energy year is about a review of the last 9 years of our life. Where were you 9 years ago? What was going on in your life over the last 9 years? And the number 9 is about learning how to let go of things that you no longer need. Because we have transit different planets. We have 2 of our planets in Aries energy, which starts a whole new astrological cycle. This is now time to review. Do I really need to hold on to this? Do I need to hold on to this? Maybe there's people and places that are no longer aligned with who you are that you may have to let go of, so you can make space for what's to come in. As we move into 2026, we're going to be moving into a 1 energy year, which is about the new version of you. The new ways that you're going to be connecting with people, the new ways you're going to be communicating with people, the new ways you're going to experience, the new way you're going to connect with your own inner body, the new ways you're going to be doing different things that involve change, the new ways in regards to your health habits, the new ways to your agreements, the new ways to your transformations, the new ways to higher learning, the new ways to your soul's calling, the new ways to your community, and the new ways to the things that you're going to be taking your mask off about, and perhaps allowing yourself to share those secret gifts that you have stumbled upon over the last maybe year, or maybe the last, 5 years since 2020, and that you're finally willing to say, you know what, I am a gifted individual and I'm ready to share it out. All this new that's going to come in 2025. So paying attention to where we're going. And here's my question. It came back. Yes, I knew it would. The North and South Node that are currently in Pisces, Virgo Pisces, when does that energy change? Because I know it's coming up soon because it's only an 18-month transit. So when does that change up again?
Let me look that up.
Or is it next year in 2026?
I think it's next year in 2026 because also Chiron changes next year into Taurus.
Oh, let's celebrate. If anybody does not know what that means, I have a Chiron Aries energy, and I feel like Chiron has been in Aries forever. So once it moves into Taurus, That's going to be a blessing in itself. I do feel for those that have Taurus, that have their Chiron in Taurus, though. But we'll talk about that at a different time.
Yeah, because the nodes entered in January of 2025. So it'll be, yeah.
I thought the nodes entered more towards like the end of 2024. But
No,
okay.
2026, it'll be July 26th, or about 18 months.
Okay, so we still have some time. You know, I'm sort of rushing. I remember in the beginning when I was learning that I had all these different returns showing up on my chart. I was so excited about all these different returns. I was like, yeah, I got Venus return. I got my North Node return. I had this return. I had that return. And then, of course, when they happened, I was like, what the hell was I thinking? So, of course, I still have my Pisces North Node in return. And, yes, it's quite an interesting place to be.
Yeah, because we will be going again in a new soul direction, because we're going to be moving into Aries. So that will be like it's the end of July. So interesting. July is a big month. June and July are big months in the 2026 in that 1 year that we enter into, because with Chiron headed into Taurus, it's about our stability and feeling safe and wanting to be safe. So, you know,
and also feeling safe in our bodies, you know.
Right.
And when we think about, as I speak on a lot, one of the reasons why so many carry the physical weight is due to their story of calling in that, as we call it, the physical wall to protect us from something or someone. So with Chiron moving into Taurus, this could be a perfect opportunity for anybody who does have the physical weight to work on feeling more safe and secure in their own bodies, that they can actually work on releasing that story, right, and work on releasing the weight, and again, moving into this new version of who they are, or just loving the body they're in, which is a win-win.
And what's interesting is when we leave Chiron taking off the masks in Aries, and we move to the understanding the value of ourselves, the value of what we bring. Here's this Aquarian energy, Jupiter, which is nurturing this at this point, expanding it, nurturing it. Doesn't quite move until, I think, August of next year. It's a little bit over a year that Jupiter hangs out in a sign. And then, so we have, again, this ability to really tell our story, hence why I call myself the storytelling of how this energy can move us forward.
Yes. So this is also going to be a perfect time for anyone out there who is looking or interested to write their story, meaning write their book. This is a perfect time to put pen to paper and utilize this Jupiter Cancer energy to expand, write, and bring that book into life as we move into 2026. So, Kitty, you have your cards with you?
I have cards with me, yes.
Let's pull some, see what we need to know.
I'm back in my office from in the camper. So it's been a year of change. It was very interesting. One card of this deck that I use, if I don't use Joanne's deck, which I really do like, but I never use it with her, is
sometimes
occasionally I have used it with you. This is Awakening Avalon. The one card that I didn't know wasn't in the deck that stayed here all winter was Time to Smudge, Clear Your Energy. And I would say that my year in Florida and things was really a quiet year to clear. As a matter of fact, I do not need that many cards. It just fell. But what did all by itself? It is it is a time to clear. It is a time to clean. I was at our friend Joe's class tonight, and that was the big message: clean, clear, understand. So
Yes, this is a perfect time to either light your sage.
and guess what? Time to Spudge just came out again. So
yeah, and go to each room and go to the corners and everything. Or you can even use excuse me, you can use bells and ring them for sound healing to move the energy around as well. And if you have selenite and also either tourmaline or black onyx, you can work with those two crystals to cleanse the energy as well. So if you're not open to smelling incense, you can cleanse in other ways, because you really want to clear the energies out so you can bring this new energy in, and really be aware of the energy you're around, like the different people you're hanging out with, and cleansing your energy after hanging out with them. Even if they do come with vibrant energy, you still want to go home and cleanse so you're not carrying whatever they may be carrying, even if their energy feels good.
It's a really interesting time because I'm realizing when I know things about people, not that I don't know, that I think I know, but there are things that don't match the world, the reality I build for myself. I no longer spend time with those people, not because I don't need to talk about it, but because we give energy all off all the time. And if I'm combating and protecting myself from it, why am I spending that much time with the person? It's not about them, it's about me. And that's where we move from judgment to assessment. That's just not a place I want to be. And what comes out? Sacral chakra. Feel alive with the energy. And that's exactly what we're talking about. Look at what energy you're around. How is it feeding your body, your soul, your mind, your thoughts? Are you aware of your thoughts and your words? So it's really makes perfect sense to me that's what comes up.
Now I shuffled and pulled 3 cards. Now they didn't all come out together. I just kept shuffling. So the first card that popped out, which is so perfect, is freedom, and the 1-4, which is 5. So there's change here. And what can you do so you can change something so you can have your freedom? Where do you want freedom in your life? And you can have freedom wherever it is you want to have. You just have to be willing to change something so you can have that freedom. Like for me, those who follow me, from 2022 to now, and I can't believe it's been this long already. I cannot believe it's 3 years. It's like, wow, it felt like yesterday, where I once upon a time had a storefront, and I no longer have a storefront. I literally gave myself financial freedom, that I now have financial freedom to do things that I want to do without the burden of like, oh my God, I have to put this towards a overhead, versus I can do all these magical fun things now. And the chakra here is the root energy. So if you are looking for freedom, it's very important to get grounded so you can make the changes you need to make. So that's the first card. Second card came in reverse, which is about the master teacher. And it's in reverse. And the reason why I'm feeling that's in reverse is because in order for us to do this work, we do need to call on teachers. We need mentors and we need guidance. So if you are resisting, if you really think you can go through this spiritual evolution by yourself and do it on your own, I may suggest that you might want to reach out to get a little bit of support, which is that master teacher. 3-8 is the 11 energy. This is about moving into mastering your healing. The color is your third eye, so allowing yourself to have the vision of seeing yourself heal, but also be, the word I'm hearing is be smart about it in reference to getting support on this journey. Third card I love, because it's so perfectly aligned, and really aligned now that I look at the 2 numbers. Health. And that's exactly what we've been talking about this whole time with Jupiter and Cancer is how can we bring our bodies back into homeostasis, which is health. The orange energy is your sacral chakra, which is so aligned with the moon energy. And the number is 33, which is what are you willing to sacrifice so you can have better health? Now we take that 33. Now in numerology with our master numbers, we don't usually add the number up, but the 33 still carries the same meaning of the 6. And when we have our 5 and 6, we have 11. And we have 11 here. So this is about the 11-11 energy. And I'm going to point over this way as well, or this way. Here we go. That Kitty carries the 11-11 energy as well. And the 11-11 is a big reminder, another portal energy that we are in the space to literally step in to this portal and work through healing and being able to sacrifice something so you can move into a space of total health, being the healthiest, strongest version of you as we go through this evolution. So those are my cards for today.
And my last one is create a sacred space. And it's honor yourself, your body, and the divine. And sometimes that's as simple as we start with. What sacred space do I have? It doesn't have to be a whole woo-woo room. It's just a space I go often in my own mind where I can sit. I have a place by a waterfall. I have a place on a hill. I have a place on a beach, you know.
It could be your shower.
It can be your shower.
Literally be your shower that you're about to go take and just set up that space, whatever you want, aromatherapy.
Your pillow at night.
Yes, it could be anything that allows you to be more at peace with yourself so your body can be more at peace. Because once your body is at a state of peace, your body, your nervous system, everything calms down. And when everything calms down, your body is literally able to heal because it's in a calmer state. A body that is constantly in a state of resistance and restricting and stress and anxiousness, body holds on like this. It's too tight. It's too congested. So we have to learn to allow ourselves to completely free ourselves and give ourselves permission to calm ourselves down and find that sacred space to just allow yourself just to be. After all, and I'm going to get biblical on some of us, there's 3 things in the Bible that are extremely important for all of us. And that is to do, to be, and to have. Those are the 3 things that if you read the Bible, you're going to see those 3 words throughout the Bible. We are here to do, we are here to be, and we are here to have. It's our birthright. So what are you willing to do so you could be in that space of peace and calmness so you can have that peace and calmness?
Right.
Every day. Not just once in a while. Every day.
Do you have something you do before you go to sleep at night?
Oh, I have a whole ritual.
But is there like anything, like I say, the last thing I say to myself at night is, I am that I am, and that is enough.
Sometimes my rituals change, but for the most part, my rituals are about getting my diffuser set up. And once I lay in the bed, I pull out my selenite that has all the 7 chakras. You have one, I know, because I saw yours before I got mine. And I place the selenite literally on each chakra point, and I go through my affirmations. There you go. My affirmation for each chakra. Because one thing that many people, I'm not going to use the word do it wrong, but have been guided in maybe the wrong guidance, is each chakra has its own affirmation. If you're only using the word I am for all 7 chakras, you're only activating your root chakra. And every chakra has a different affirmation. And to run through it very quickly, we know the root is the I am. The sacral is I create. The solar plexus, I trust. The heart is I open. The throat is I speak. Third eye is I see, and the crown is I know and believe. And you can fill in the blanks after each of those words to whatever you want it to be to help you align your chakra system before you go to sleep. Now, do know that chances are you're probably not going to get to all 7 of them. You probably will end up falling asleep midway through, unless you're like me, that I purposely stay up to make sure I get all 7 of them, because I'm moving the selenite across each chakra so I can activate each chakra before I go to bed to clear the energy out for my day, so I can literally open my energy up at night. For those of you who don't know this about me, I do travel between worlds in my sleep state. So I do go to the other side, and I get on that bus, and I meet those who are ready to cross over, those who have crossover, and those who are on the bus like myself that aren't going to cross over, but they're going to get messages to come back. And I often do that and come back with new messages for people who I know, and the tricky part for people who I don't know, which is really fun. Yeah, it's really fun when you're in the store and all of a sudden Spirit's in your ear saying you need to deliver the message. And I'm like, oh no, that's not happening right now. And Spirit just stays in your ear until that message is delivered to the person you don't know.
So. And on that note, we're delivering this message because we have a commitment to be off in 1 minute. So
exactly. This was so much fun.
We got to do this more often again. We used to do it a lot. It's just our lives have headed in a different direction.
We'll get back on track and everything else. I know probably in the next week or 2, I'll have a lot of new things to be sharing and showing off. So,
she keeps teasing us. So.
Yes, I like to tease. I want to get you all sitting at the edge of your chair with suspense of what's coming. What's coming? So this right here, you'll be all surprised and ready to go. So with all that being said, we'll see you all again really soon. Namaste.
Namaste.